The Jungle's Wrath. The Thompson family had always been fond of adventure, seeking out new and exciting experiences to share together. So when they decided to charter a plane for an unforgettable journey to a remote jungle, no one was surprised. The lush, vibrant landscape of the jungle was the perfect setting for the Thompsons to explore and bond as a family. Excitingly, they prepared for the trip, ensuring they had all the necessary gear and provisions for their adventure. As the small plane soared above the dense jungle canopy, the family gazed down in awe at the vast expanse of green that stretched out beneath them. They eagerly anticipated the unique wildlife and fascinating discoveries that awaited them in the untamed wilderness below. However, their excitement was short-lived as a sudden violent storm swept in, causing their plane to be tossed about by powerful gusts of wind. The pilots struggled to maintain control, but the fierce storm proved too much for the small aircraft. With a gut-wrenching lurch, the plane plummeted towards the jungle floor, crashing through the thick canopy before coming to a screeching halt among the tangled undergrowth. The Thompsons found themselves battered and bruised, but miraculously alive, their adventure taking a terrifying turn. Their plane destroyed and the pilot dead, they assessed their situation and took stock of their injuries. The family realized they were stranded in the heart of the jungle with no way to call for help. Determined to survive and find a way home, they set out to explore their surroundings in search of rescue. Unbeknownst to them, a deadly predator was lurking in the shadows, drawn to the scent of the crashed plane and its human occupants. The Spinosaurus, a formidable and cunning carnivore, stalked the Thompsons as they moved through the dense foliage, its predatory instincts driving it to close in on its prey. After what seemed like hours of traversing through the dense jungle, the family decided to take a break and catch their breath. Tired and fearful, they each began sniffing the pungent air around them, confused on what could cause this bad of a smell, until behind a nearby bush, they found a partially eaten jaguar, rotting and covered in flies. Just then, the ground beneath them began to tremble, and the air filled with a low, guttural growl. Paralyzed with fear, they watched in terror as a colossal Spinosaurus emerged from the foliage, its massive sail-like fins slicing through the air. The creature towered over the family, its razor-sharp teeth bared in a predatory snarl. The Spinosaurus lunged towards them, ready to snatch them in its powerful jaws, but the Thompsons made a split-second decision to dive inside of a fallen tree. The creature's teeth clashed together with a deafening crunch, just inches from where they had been standing moments before. Momentarily distracted by the carcass of the dead cat, it leaned down, nudged it, and in one quick snap swallowed it whole. But it wasn't done. It sniffed the air again. It knew the family was still around. It then looked at the tree the Thompsons were hiding in. It reared up on its hind legs and stormed towards the trunk, smashing it to pieces. But under its clawed foot, there was nothing. As the family trekked deeper into the jungle, still shaking from the carnivorous dinosaur they just encountered, they stumbled upon an old radio tower, long abandoned by its former occupants. Desperate for a way to call for help, they climbed the rusted structure, hoping to find a functioning radio at its summit. However, their attempt to reach safety was interrupted by the sudden reappearance of the Spinosaurus, its massive jaws and razor-sharp teeth poised to strike. The family scrambled up the tower with newfound urgency, narrowly avoiding the predator's snapping jaws as it lunged at them from below. As the Spinosaurus continued to menace the terrified family, they discovered a still functional radio in the tower's control room. With trembling fingers, they sent out a frantic distress call, praying that someone would hear them and come to their rescue. After what felt like an eternity, a voice crackled through the radio, confirming that a rescue helicopter was on its way. The Thompsons, relieved and exhausted, huddled together in the control room, watching in terror as the Spinosaurus circled the base of the tower, just waiting for them to descend. Finally, the unmistakable sound of a helicopter's rotor blades filled the air, and the family watched as their rescuers appeared above the jungle canopy. As the helicopter lowered a rescue harness, the Spinosaurus roared in frustration, realizing that its prey was about to escape its grasp. One by one, the Thompsons were hoisted into the helicopter, their their hearts pounding with fear and relief as they left the Spinosaurus and the jungle behind. As they soared away from the scene of their harrowing ordeal, they knew that their lives had been forever changed by their brush with the jungle's wrath.